Making $599 a day selling services is probably the easiest way to get rich in this information age. It's simple, it's effective, and you get to live a life of freedom while you're working remote. And of course, alongside that, one of the main benefits is you actually get to improve someone else's life based on the service that you're selling. And I get it, sometimes that sounds way too good to be true, but the reality is it's truly that good. And I know this because I've done it. There are business owners right now that own remote businesses all over the world that are looking for someone just like you to be able to come in and actually sell their services because their schedule is crazy. All you have to do is learn how to actually do that. And if you do, your life will change dramatically. Now, this guide that I'm about to give you, I've actually given the exact same guide to thousands of our students. Anything is possible if you know where to start, you actually learn it, and you actually apply it. Most people just don't know that first step, where to start. But in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly where you can get started and how to actually do it. This is going to be a full detailed guide on exactly what you need to use. And if you watch the video all the way through, you take notes, you pay attention, I can almost guarantee you that you will start making $599 a day, maybe even more if you actually apply it. So with that being said, I'm just gonna preface this real quick. This is a Loom video that is actually inside of our free community right now. Okay, I wanted to pull it out, so it's gonna say a little bit of things like join the Discord here, look for the link down below there, just completely ignore that and watch the content for itself because it is absolutely insane. This is the most value I think I've ever given on a YouTube video, and I wanna continue to do this every single video that I release from now on. So make sure, watch it all the way through, and I hope you enjoy it. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video where you learn it all. Okay, real quick, before I dive into this framework for you guys, I want you to understand two things. Number one, this framework alone, I have used, I don't know how many times, I can't even count, and I have made anywhere between $300, $500, and even $1,000 in commissions every single time that I have used it. So I just want to let you know that this little piece of paper right here is much more than a piece of paper on your computer or whatever the case may be. This is the ticket for you to absolutely crush life. Make money, do whatever you want, and travel the world. Like I said, this framework alone has made me a ton of money. And on top of that, it has allowed me to travel and see things that I never would have gotten to if I never had it. So with that being said, welcome to this video. I'm super excited to dive into this. But again, I'm going to tell you the second thing about this framework, okay? And the second thing to know about this is it is a framework, not a script, all right? And that is super, super important to make sure that you know. Because inside of this, a script is basically something that you read and you continue to read and you just read off. That's it. This is not that. This is a framework, which means it's adjustable and it's adaptable to who you are and how to have the most natural conversation and be here to serve. Okay? Now, with those two things that I've just told you, number one, you know that this is not a script, this is a framework, which is unlike any other sales course or training on the planet because most of the time they just give you scripts and tell you, hey, this is the magic pill. That doesn't exist and it's not true. You need a framework, you need to have a conversation, you need to be adaptable, and of course, this piece of paper also is going to show you how to make a ton of money. So this video right here is your ticket to freedom, okay? So I'm super excited to really go over this and make sure that you know exactly what you're doing for your first call, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this. So this framework is actually an acronym that we use, which is called CLIP, all right? Now, CLIP is super interesting, and yeah, it is something. It's made me a lot of money, so it is awesome. But CLIP basically stands for clarify, label, information, and of course, providing the solution, right? Now, with that being said, I'm going to go over all of those things for you in this video, and then go over how you actually get to that point within the questions or statements that you're making, okay? So with clarify, for example, right? This is the first part of the framework. And the first part is super important because it's basically your introduction, right? Your introduction is everything because the first 5 to 10 seconds of that call basically determines if somebody is going to buy from you or not, right? Because it's your first impression. And if they don't trust you, they don't like you, they're probably not going to buy from you. Because let's face it, people don't buy products, they don't buy services, they don't buy anything. They buy from people or other things that they like, right? So you have to be likable first and foremost. And that's really what Clarify is here for, okay? You're going to start on the call really energetic, really charismatic. And what you're going to do is you're going to jump into clarifying why they actually are on this call, where they're from, what they do for work, and just clarifying who they are as a person, all right? And clarifying just basically means knowing exactly what's happening. That's all that means. That's why we labeled it as clarifying. So first and foremost, the question that you're going to be asking is, why did you reach out? Or what made you hop onto this call today? Now, we put two different questions here that are essentially the same because it depends on who you are and the type of person and style that you want to follow. But the moral of this question is to figure out, why are they actually on this call? Of all these questions in Clarify, or matter of fact, all the questions on the entire framework, I'm about to give you some golden nuggets here, so make sure and write it down, okay? With this first question is probably the most important question on the entire framework. And the reason why is because you need to understand why that person is actually there, right? It's something that we follow every single time we get on sales calls as a team, and it's something that I've followed every single time that has given me so much success, okay? So one thing that I do is I say, hey, what made you want to hop on this call today? Why are you here, right? A lot of people book calls for services. A lot of people get into free things. A lot of people do a bunch of stuff, right? For example, there is a reason that you're watching this video right now, and there's a reason that you opted into this Discord, right? What is that reason? I'm not talking to you, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's because you want success, right? But it's a lot deeper than that. Why did you pick us? Why did you hop on this call, right? There's 1,000 different opportunities to make money online. Why did you pick this? And I'm just giving you an example here, but that's exactly how you're supposed to go about that question. And when you get the answer to that question, you can close the deal very, very easily. All right. Now, with that being said, you're going to move on and clarify, where are you from? What do you do for work? Basically qualifying them. Where are they from, right? That should tell you a little bit of background of who they are as a person, where they were raised, right? How they were raised, all that good stuff. What do you do for work? That's another really good question, because if they do something really good for work, of course, and they make good money, they're going to be a very qualified prospect for you to talk to, right? Now, of course, what are you really looking to get out of this call is going to get a little bit of goals in there. And then why is this call so important to you? Why is what you're looking to get out of it so important to you? And that's going to give you that why, which you absolutely need in order to label them, which is the next section, okay? Labeling is super, super simple, but all you're doing is labeling them with why they're there, what their problem is, and most importantly, what they're trying to accomplish. So you're labeling them as a person trying to accomplish something, right? So it sounds like X is your goal. Does that sound about right? Cool. What do you think is stopping you or holding you back from that right now? And then right here in this moment, what you want to do is you want to go through a couple other questions, okay? Of course, all the questions on the sheet that you see. And then after you've gone through that, you want to label them with who you think they are or who you believe they are. Now, you want to make sure and do this in a very supportive way, because nobody likes to get dogged on when they are talking to somebody, right? So after you've figured out all these questions, you've gone down the list of label, you have Clarify, you're then going to actually actively label them, right? Hey, so it seems like you're here because you really want to learn sales. You want to take care of your family. You want to make money. You want to travel the world, whatever the case may be, right? And this is important to you because you've never had these things or even seen them, and you don't know if they're possible, right? So it sounds to me like you grew up in a little bit of an environment where nothing was really possible. Now, you know it's possible because you're here, which means you're an action taker, you're a believer, you have faith, and you believe in you to succeed. Am I right? I just automatically labeled that person, that they're a go-getter, right? That they believe, they have faith because they believe in them, right? And all I did was get that from questions that they answered. That's it. But I'm labeling them actively to show them that they're an action taker because I'm going to use that later in this call, right? So that's super important of a section as well. And then, of course, the last piece is information. Now, this is where all of the value comes in, okay? After you've asked questions, you understand what's happening, you understand what they're trying to get out of, whatever your offer is or may be, you want to make sure and give value because let's face it, everybody likes their time respected, okay? They really do. And if you come on this call just selling, and asking a bunch of questions, it's not going to really do you any good, right? I know there's a ton of different things out there, a ton of different strategies, and maybe they work. I'm sure they do, right? But for me, I was the number one salesman at the car dealership that I worked at. I was the number one salesperson every single time I had a remote position, and I crushed everybody. And this is the reason why. Because I cared about the prospect. I asked them good questions, and most importantly, I gave them real value that they could leave with, right? Whether they bought or not, they were still getting helped. And that's super important because, like I said, people buy other people. They don't buy products and services. So if you're the only person that has actively helped them on that call, guess who they're going to buy from? Probably you, right? So that's where the information and the value comes in. And this is where about your specific product, you need to have a bunch of knowledge in it so that you can give them value. What are the steps that they can take to be successful, right? What are the steps they can take to be able to hit their goals? What if their goal is just saving more money, right? How can they do that? What is it? What can you help them with? You want to really, really pour everything you have into this value on how they can do it by themselves. Then after that, you're going to go to providing solutions, of course, right? Which providing solutions is one of the most important because it's going to be, hey, you can do this. Here's all the value. You can do it by yourself, or you can do it this way. And this way is the way better solution. And here's why, right? And that's actually going to be your service. Okay. Now you're going to provide why one or two of these tips of what they actually need are important, show them extensively how they are the missing pieces that they haven't had the entire time. And then, of course, make sure that you actually provide that solution to them. After you've provided the solution, you can do that in many different ways, but the ways that we've found most successful are through parables or stories because people really can understand stories. They understand visuals, stories, all that good stuff. So you can absolutely use this, all right? And then relate it to who they are. What story did they tell you when you were asking questions, right? Relate it to their situation. How is it actively going to solve their situation? All right. These are super, super important things. But the most important part about this is these steps, and each of these steps are the key for you to unlock your freedom, the key for you to unlock $500. And notice one big thing about this whole entire framework and everything I've been saying, in order for you to unlock your key to be able to make money, have freedom, do all these things, you have to help other people, right? People that make money aren't people that do crazy things. They don't scam anybody. They don't do all this stuff, right? They actively help people, most of them, right? But in order for you to make money or do anything of really high regard, you have to be able to provide a solution that's worth more than what it is that you're giving, right? That's super important, okay? So make sure that you're absolutely serving throughout this entire call. There is going to be a whole entire link on this that you can click, you can have a copy of. It's going to be super, super important for you, okay? And this is going to be, again, that step where you unlock freedom. Now, there's many other components that come into this. It's not just the framework. But if you get all of these components, you're off to the races. You're going to be living a life that you could have only dreamed of. And we've had many, many, many people, many students, myself, all of the closers that I've had on any team that I've ever had, right? When they use this stuff, they crush it. They live free. They do what they want, right? So if you're paying attention, you're being attentive, you're using these things, you're actively taking action, and you're trying your absolute hardest to win, you will. Just make sure and take notes, practice hard, and follow this framework. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So now you've had time to watch the Loom video. I hope it was super, super awesome for you. And I just want to say, this is how it looks. This is how it works. First, of course, you need to be able to actually go and get a sales role. Make sure you do that. It's not that hard. After that, use this framework, all right? This framework is incredible, and it's made me and countless others thousands of dollars per month. And I mean that, thousands of dollars per month. Okay, it can do the same thing for you if you actually apply it and actually use it. So I hope this video was a bunch of value. You found everything you needed, and if you want more just like that, there is a link in the description down below that has our free community. It's our free school. It's completely free. By the way, I've said it 3 times. I'm gonna say it again. It's free. Go ahead and click that if you wanna join, and you'll learn all about closing, how to actually get those roles, all that good stuff. And thank you so much for watching.